Sorry. All right. Testing. Okay, so hello again, everyone, and sorry for the slight problem with the microphone. So anyway, welcome everyone to today's live stream. Welcome back, and I hope you're all doing well. Okay, so if you're watching now, please say something. Okay, in the comments area, just say hi to me. All right. So that I know that you're watching and following this live stream right now. Okay, can you hear me well right now? And is the video clear for you? Can you see my face? Okay, anyway, please do let me know. Now for today's session, today's live stream, we'll be doing another quiz on English vocabulary, but we'll be focusing on other words. Specifically, we'll be looking at the words this, that, these, and those. All right? I'm sure you all have seen these words and have used these words before, but can you use them correctly? So this is what you'll be practicing today, and this is what you'll be learning today. Okay? Now, as always, I'll be teaching wholly, totally in English so that you get to practice your listening skill as well. And I'll try my best to explain each and every question to you. So if you need anything to be repeated, please tell me. If I speak too fast or if I speak too slow or if you don't understand anything, please do let me know in the comments, okay? Okay, so today, for anyone who has just joined, we will be doing a vocabulary quiz, okay? So we will be focusing on English words. And today, we will look at the words this, that, these, and those. Okay, so these are the words for today. So are you ready? If you're ready, please send me some likes or type something in the comments area. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so this is the first sentence for this video. Can everyone see well? Okay, so here is a sentence, and of course, there is a blank space. I want you to choose from A, B, C, or D. What's the best word for this blank? Which word will make this sentence the most correct? What do you think? I'll give you some time, okay, to think. But if you know the answer or if you just want to guess, please help me by typing your answer, okay? So just type A, B, C, or D, or you can type the word. It's up to you, okay? All right, so I will give you some time to think about this one. What do you think is the answer? And also, if you are enjoying this live stream, please also give me a like or maybe a love or any other those emotions. Okay, and if you think it is useful, please also help me by sharing this live stream. Okay, so the more people can benefit from this live video, the better, I think. All right, and also, if you have already seen some of my previous videos, don't forget to press like on my page and don't forget to press C first so that you will always be updated with the latest videos. Okay, and if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell button to get the notification whenever I go live. Okay, guys, what's the answer to this one? Any guesses? What do you think? What should we write in the blank? Okay, let's look at the words first. So the choices that we have today are the words this, that, these, and also those, right? So do you know what the word this means? This. When do we use this? Anyone? Okay, what about that? Okay, and we have these and we have those, right? So, okay, I'll give you an idea. So we use this, okay? Just a moment. Okay, so we use this, the word this. Okay, when do we use it? We use this to talk about the thing that is near to you, and we only talk about one thing or something that you can't count. Okay, we use this. How about that? When do we use that? Well, we use the word that when we're talking about something which is a bit far away or further away, okay, but only one thing, or that thing is uncountable. On the other hand, we use those, okay, we use, these, here, these, when we're talking about many things which are near us. And the last word is those. We use those to talk about things which are far away from us, okay? So we use those when there are many things. There are two or more things that are far away from us. We use those, okay? So we can say that this and these mean things which are close, while that and those mean things which are far away. So now you know the meaning. What's the best answer to this sentence? What should we write in the blank? What do you think? What should we write? All right, let's look at our sentence first. It says, pick one of, and then a blank, pens from that container. Okay, so we're talking about the word pick. So what does pick mean? Pick is like to, lift it up, okay, or to choose. So we have to choose one of what? Pens, okay? So pens are like this, okay? A pen, right? From that container. So a container is anything that we can use to store things. It can be a box, okay, maybe a cup, that's a container as well. So here is like an instruction to lift up or choose one pen from a container, which could be like a small box or something. Now, what should we put in the blank? I see that we have one person answering here. So, okay, so a D. Okay, we have one answer now. D. How about other guys? What do you think? Other people? Anyone? What's the best answer for this one? All right, I will get you started. So for this one, we are talking about what? We're talking about pens. That's a plural noun, right? A plural noun. So if we want to use one of these words, we need words which are suitable for plural nouns. So we can't use this and we can't use that, okay? Because this and that are only for things which you can not count or they are singular, okay? So we have these and those. Now, which one should we choose? If we look at the context of this sentence, we can see that here it says that container. So what do we mean by that container? It means the container is far away from us. It's not near. The container is like maybe over there, okay? So if you want to pick some pens, one of the pens, should it be these pens or those pens? What do you think? The container is far away. Should the pen inside that container be far as well? The answer is yes. Since we're talking about that container, which is far away, the pens are far away as well. So the answer here is D, those, okay? So we get the answer. Pick one of those pens from that container, okay? So choose or lift up one of the many pens from a container, okay? And the container is far away, so the pens are far away as well. That's why we choose those. And we use those and not that because we are talking about pens, many pens, which is a plural noun, okay? Now, we have some more answers. So this one, okay, Ruong Tong, you said D, and Phi, you also said D. So everyone is correct. Thank you for the answer. Let's look at the next one. Okay, how about this one? Okay, this sentence, have a read. What's the best answer for the blank? What do you think? Okay, I will help you a bit by explaining the sentence. So here, the sentence begins with what? Excuse me. When do we use excuse me? Well, we use excuse me when we want to get someone's attention, okay? Or maybe like we did something wrong, and to say sorry, we can also say excuse me. If you want someone to move a bit, we can also say excuse me. But in this case, excuse me means what? Means like sorry and to get some attention, okay? So what else? I think something bread isn't fresh. So like maybe after looking at the bread, I have this thought in my mind. Bread is of course a kind of food, right? It isn't fresh, so it's probably old and starting to look bad, starting to smell bad. And so you ask, could you get me a new loaf? So you're asking someone to get me, or in this case the speaker, a new loaf. Okay, a loaf is like a one large piece of bread. That's called a loaf. Okay, and you haven't cut the bread yet. That's a loaf of bread. Okay, so you want a new one. Why do you want a new one? Because the bread isn't fresh anymore. Okay, so this is like asking someone to change the bread. Maybe get a new one because the one that you're buying, looking right now, doesn't look good anymore. And so that's why you begin the sentence with excuse me, to maybe get the attention of the shop owner or maybe the baker. Okay, now we have some answers coming in. So from Kunfai, you said A. Okay, what about Papatra? You said B, but you're not sure. And Kun Rong Tong, you also said A. Okay, thank you for all the answers. If any one of you are still watching, please also try answering this question. Okay. All right, so let's look at this one. The best answer is, of course, this. Okay, now why do we use this? Because we're focusing on this specific bread. Okay, it's not any bread, it's probably the bread in front of you. It's close, so we use this. And since bread by itself is what? An uncountable noun. Okay, bread is an uncountable noun. We use this. Okay, we can't use these because it's not plural. Bread is uncountable. If you want to count a bread, you have to say something like a piece of bread or a loaf of bread. Okay, so it's A. All right, so so Ja also answered A, which is correct, and Ploy said B. Okay, so the answer is actually A. Okay, but good try and thank you for contributing. Okay, now you know why it is A, right? Because the bread is like in front of you and you're saying that this bread is not fresh. Can I get a new one? Okay, you're talking to someone, but the bread is near you, so use A. All right. Let's move on to number 3. Number 3. Okay, so this is the third sentence. This is a short one. What do you think? Is it this, that, these, or is it those? Have a go. What do you think? See, the sentence is saying that John is coming home. So John is what? A person's name, right? And okay, we have one answer. So from Somkiat, you said A. All right, so thank you for typing in the answer. Now, John is a person, and okay, so we have some more answers. We have A and A as well. All right, so it's probably A, but let's look at the sentence first. So John, a person, is coming home. So probably he is away somewhere, right? And now he's coming back home. He plans to come back home. Okay, and we are talking about weekend, the end of the week. So Saturday or Sunday, that's the weekend. And sometimes when we say the evening or Friday, that's part of the weekend as well. Okay, right. So this person is coming home during the weekend. Now, weekend here, we are only talking about one weekend, right? So it's singular. So can you use these and those? No, we don't use C. We don't use D, okay? Because these two words are for plural only, okay? So it's either this or that. And seems like most of you answered A, right? So from Sutida, you also said A. So all of you are actually correct, okay? The correct answer is this, because we're saying like, John, this person, he's coming back to us, or maybe he's visiting us this weekend, okay? We don't say like, oh, that weekend. That is more commonly used to talk about a past event, okay? Past event. So write it down. Past. But we use this to talk about the present and also the future. Present, okay? And future. Okay, so that's why we use this, and all of you got it correct. That's great, congratulations. Let's look at our next sentence. So this is our next sentence. What do you think? What's the best answer for this blank? while you're all thinking, I will explain the sentence to you. So here it's talking about the museum. Okay. Does anyone know what a museum is? A museum. So, okay, we have some answers coming in, so I will show them. We have A from Asan Ali. Okay. And we have D from Phi, D from Somkiet, and C from Pa. All right. So let's look at the sentence first. So we're talking about the museum, right? A museum is like a building that houses objects, mostly like old objects, or maybe objects that are not old, maybe present things, but are focused on maybe a certain topic. So if you go to like a natural history museum, then you find like maybe skeletons or stuffed animals. If you go to a science museum, you find like all the kinds of science experiments, science instruments, and so on. Okay, so museums are like places that you go and you can see all things or things on a certain topic, and you can learn more about those things. Okay, so the museum we visited today, so the museum that our group, visited, we went to, when? Today. What about this museum? It was better than what? Than something 3. Okay, here is the number 3. What do you think it is talking about? 3. In this case, 3 refers to the number of other museums. So actually 3. 3 here is actually also talking about museums. Okay, SEUM and then S. Okay, we went yesterday. So this group went to 3 museums yesterday. Okay, but today they went to 1 museum. And it seems like they're comparing, right? And saying that the museum that they went to today was better than the 3 museums that they went yesterday. Okay, now what's the best answer? Well, let's start with the word 3. Okay, so I have one more answer from Suchida. Okay, you also said C, right? So we have A, we have D, we have C. So what's the correct answer now? Okay, anyway, we can see that we're talking about 3. In this case, it means 3 museums. So we can't use 2 words already. We can't use this. We can't use that, because this and that are for singular nouns or for uncountable nouns. Things you can't count, like your hair, you don't normally count, right? Okay, so it's either these or those. All right, so which one? Well, the correct answer here is those. Okay, D. So I think you have Phi and Somkiet, right, who answered D and D. Okay, so congratulations for answering D, because that's the correct answer. So I'll explain a bit why we choose D. Because the 3 museums here are the ones we went yesterday. It's the past. So we say those, because yesterday is like getting farther and farther away in time, right? Today is now, it's close to us, but yesterday it's getting farther and farther away. Okay, yesterday is far, so we use those. Today is near, we use these. That's why we say those 3. So the museum that we visited today was better than those 3 museums that we went yesterday. Okay, so now remember, in the past, talking about the past, we use that or those. If we are talking about the present or the future, we use this or these. Now, what else? What's the next one? All right, let's look at this sentence. What is the best answer? We have 10 questions and we are almost halfway now. This is our 5th sentence. Okay, have a think. Well, for today, we have a viewer from Pakistan. So hello, Asan. Nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us from Pakistan. I hope you're doing well. And we have one answer from Somkiat. Okay, you said A. I'll give other people a bit more time, okay, to think what's the best answer. Okay, we have A from Phi. Thank you. And A from Sutida. Okay, thank you for your contributions. Let's look at the sentence first, shall we? Okay, it says, don't play with the cat like that. Okay, when you play with the cat, maybe, as a pet, right? You can pet the cat, maybe you can feed the cat. And here it's like saying that, don't play with that animal, the cat, like that. So maybe the listener of this sentence played with the cat, maybe played too hard with the cat, okay, and maybe the cat was crying or hurting. And it says play with it, play with it. It here, of course, refers to what? It refers to cat. So it's like here is actually an imperative sentence. I'll write it down. Imperative. Okay, what do we use imperative sentences for? Well, we use an imperative sentence to give an order, okay, or to make a request. The first one, order, like you want someone to do something, you give an order, like go home, go to bed, do your homework. And another one is to give a request. When you want someone to help, you use the imperative form. Request. The imperative form of the sentence always start with a verb, and it has to be the base form of the verb, okay? Base form. Base. Let me write this down. Base form of the verb. So the base form is like the simplest form of any verb. So we don't add s, we don't add es, ed, ing, or whatever. We just write the base one at the beginning of the sentence, okay? So here we use don't play. You're telling someone not to play with a cat like that, but play with the cat another way. So another style, maybe play softer, play nicer with the cat, right? And I think everyone is answering right now. We have A from Satapon, I think. Maybe A from Par. Okay, A from Ni Min Yong. And A from Ruong Tong. Okay. So, well, let's show the answer. And of course, this one, the answer is A. So everyone got it correct. Right. So, don't play with the cat like that. Play it like this. This way is better. It's correct. So we're focusing on this one. And since it's just a single way, it's singular, we use this. So you all got it correct. Congratulations. Let's look at number 6. All right. Here is our sentence number 6. What do you think? Okay. And for those who have just joined, we are doing a vocabulary quiz, an English vocabulary quiz, okay? And we're focusing on the words this, that, these, and those. And I want you to look at each sentence and fill in the blank with one of these words. Okay, so now we are on our 6th sentence. And do you think it is this, that, these, or those? If you know the answer, please type in the comments area, okay? And if you find this live video useful, please also give me some thumbs up, some likes, or love or whatever. And also, please share it if you think this live stream may be useful for someone you know, okay? All right, we have many answers coming in. So we have B from Somkiat. We have B from Phi. Okay, B from Satapon. We have B from Vanicha and also B from Ruong Tong. Okay, I hope you're not very bored with this live stream. Okay, And we have B from Ni Min Yong. Okay. So may I ask you where you're from? Ni Min Yong. We have some international viewers in this video. So thank you everyone for joining. I'm really glad that you could join and answer these questions with me. Okay, so we have lots of answers now, and for this one, the correct answer is B. So everyone got it correct. Let's go back to our sentence. It says, can you see what that sign says? You know, you're asking someone whether they can see what a sign, and we use that sign because that sign is not near us, right? It's far away, so we use that. Okay, and you want to know what it says, what text is written on the sign. And we know that we use the words that because here in the second sentence, it tells us it's so far away, right? The sign is so far away. So we don't use this, we use that, okay? And okay, so we got another answer, B from Pa, so you got it correct. And all of you got the correct answer, so that's great. Okay, so Kun Somkiet, okay, you have to go. Anyway, thank you for joining, and don't forget to come back next time. I'll be live streaming correctly. Thank you for participating today, all right? Okay, guys, let's move on to the next one. Okay, this one. What do you think is the answer? Whoops, this one, sorry. There will be two similar sentences, but this is the first one. So let's focus on this one. Okay. All right. So while we're waiting for the answers, I'll be reading some comments. So Ni Min Yong, you said you're from Pisanulok. Okay. Thank you. Nice to meet you. I read your name and I thought maybe you were from Korea or something. All right. That's cool. We have the first answer from Fa. You said C. We have A from Vanitcha, A from Sataporn, and A from Par. Okay, so let's look at the sentence here. We are talking about everyone, which means every person. Okay, so another answer, Yok also said C. Right. Okay, everyone, you know, all people, what? Everyone uses a smartphone, right? Days. Okay, something days. Now, what's the correct answer? Well, for this one, we say, well, we can't say this and that, obviously, because if we look at the noun here, it's what? It's a plural noun, okay? So we can't use this and that. So don't answer A or B. And the correct answer here is actually C, okay? And I'll explain to you why. So the correct answer is everyone uses a smartphone these days, okay? This sentence is saying that, you know, everyone, all people, all people nowadays use a smartphone, you know, because nowadays you all have at least one smartphone, right? And by saying these days, I'll write it down for clarity. So these days, which means like nowadays, okay? So by saying these days, it means now, sorry, I'll write it again. Nowadays, or at present, okay. So like some questions that we have seen at the beginning, we use these to talk about the present, we use these to talk about the future, but we use those or that to talk about the past, okay? So that's why we choose C, these. The noun is plural, so we can't use A or B, and we can't use those because here we're talking about now, nowadays, these days, many people, almost everyone, has a smartphone, okay? And I can see that Okay, so you changed it to C because days has S. That's correct. Great. And Rong Tong also said C. So if you answered C, that's the correct answer. Congrats. There's one more sentence here. Okay, this one, look carefully. It's very similar to the previous sentence. But is the answer the same? Well, you have to think and find out. I'll give you some time. What do you think? Is the answer the same? Any ideas? Okay. We have A, we have D. Okay, and we have C. Great. Okay, keep them coming. Remember, look at the noun which follows the blank. Is it a singular noun or is it a plural noun? This will help you cross out two incorrect answers. We have C from Wanicha. Thank you. Okay, so this sentence is very similar. The meaning is very, very similar, right? But here, look, the verb is not used. It's what? It's used. So this sentence is what? It is in the past. Okay, it's in the past. If we're talking about the past, it is likely that we need to use that, or maybe we need to use those, right? But here we are talking about days, which is a plural noun. So a plural noun, can you use the word this with a plural noun? No. Can you use that with a plural noun? No. Remember, we use this and that with singular or uncountable nouns only, okay? And we have an answer from Rong Tong. So you said C, and Kietikun, you said A. Right. So I've just said days is plural noun. So we can't use A, this. We can't use B, that, because these two words are for singular or uncountable nouns only, okay? And now, the correct answer here is actually D. And does anyone know why we use those and not these? Any guesses? Yeah. You may be wondering, why D? Does anyone know the answer? Anyone has an explanation? Okay, so let's go back to our last question, which is this one. We said these days. And why do we say these days? Because we are talking about the present. And how do we know it's a present? Because here we use uses. This is present tense, okay? On the other hand, this question, okay, we have an explanation from Kun Fai. You said because it's past tense. That's great. Okay. So, right. Yes, I see. Okay. Okay, Kun Santapon, you said days means past. Well, days, the word days doesn't mean past, but in this sentence, there is this word used, and used here is in the past tense. So we know this is the past. So days is just a noun, okay? But we know that this sentence is talking about yesterday or in the past further back, because here we have the past tense. And now used is the past tense, and since it's the past, we're talking about the past, we use those. Okay, so that's why we can't use these. But in the previous one here, it's talking about the present, so we can use these. But here, we use those. Okay, so in the past, we use those. I'll write it down again. Past. And in the present or future, we use these. Okay, so we can see that these words are not just for things which are near us or far away from us, but we can also use with time. Okay, so in the past, we use that or those. In the present, we use this or these. So here is also another good explanation. D, because it's in the past. That's correct. And Kun Sathaporn, I'm glad you get this one now. That's good. Okay, so you've learned something new. That's a good thing. Let's look at some more questions. I think there are two more. Okay, so for this one, what should we write in the blank? Okay, we have A from Yok, and we have A from Manisha, and C, for sure, from Par. Okay, what else? B from Sathaporn, and B from Phi. Okay, so let me just close the comment for a moment, and let's look at the sentence together. Okay, so Kun Sathaporn said present continuous. That's a good clue, actually. So here it's talking about a room, but that room, what happens? The person or people in that room keeps on playing music very loud. So here it's saying that, if the room or the people or the person in that room doesn't stop playing music so loud, they turn up the volume so loud, it's annoying. Maybe the person who is saying this sentence or writing this sentence was trying to sleep, right? What happened? I'm going to call the police. Okay, so the speaker or the writer plans to what? Telephone the police, because obviously the room here is too loud. Okay, now we are only talking about what? How many rooms? Is it one room or two rooms? It's what? For this one, it's only one room, right? There is no S. So, yes, that's right. So we're only talking about one room. That's correct. Now, since we're only talking about one room, we don't use C and we don't use D. So most of you got it correct in this regard. Now, should you say this room or that room? If you are trying to sleep inside your room and you hear some loud music from somewhere around you, and it's from maybe the next room, would you say the room that is next to you, that room or this room? Have a think. Is it that room or is it this room? If we are talking about someone else in another room, we normally say that room. Okay, that room. We don't say this room, because this room is obviously my room, the room I'm sitting in here right now, and I can't sleep because the next room is so loud. Okay, so that's why the best answer here is actually that room. That's right. Okay, so yes, like what you said, Kun Yok. Okay, that room. Okay, and yes, George Nattapong, you're also correct. You said we must choose that room because The room is not yours. Okay, don't forget the S after yours. The room is not yours. Okay, great. And Satapon also said that room is far away or somewhere. That is also correct. Thank you very much for all of your explanations. Those explanations are all correct. Okay, so we have to say B, right? That room. This room, we can't sleep. That room is so loud. Let's call the police, okay? And thank you, everyone. Here's the last one. What's the answer to this question? What should we write to fill in the blank? And by the way, for those who have just joined, we are doing an English quiz focusing on English vocabulary. We're looking at how to use the words this, that, these, and those. So I want all of you, if you have just joined, to look at the blank and choose whether we should write this, that, these, or those inside it, okay? And if you know the answer, just type it in the comments area. And if you like this video, please give me a like, a thumbs up, all right? And also, if you think it is helpful, please share it, okay? And also, if you have been watching my videos, you can follow it on my Facebook page, okay? And then you can press like and press see first, or you can subscribe on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube, okay? And don't forget the bell sign so that you know whenever I go live. All right, we have plenty of answers. Let's see which one. So we have A, this from George. Okay, great. We have D from York. Okay. B from Par. B from Phi. Okay. We have A from Annie. Okay, and this one is okay from Kun Satapon. This. Okay, so this is A, right? Because we talk about today, right? And we have okay. Right. Thank you for the hearts, Kun Sasiwan. And we have B from Wanicha. All right. Great. Let's look at the sentence first. So here we talked about it. We, so two or more people, including yourself, talked about, maybe discussed about something, maybe a topic or a problem just minutes ago. When we say just minutes ago, is that a long time or a short time? Just minutes ago. If we have the word just, it's just like very, very short time. So if we say just minutes ago, it means, maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes ago, not a long time ago. So here, this group, including you, have just talked about something, maybe a topic, okay? And it happened not a long time ago. And then we have this punctuation mark that I have just circled is called a dash. Yes, so from George, yes, it's a short time. And Satapon, you also said short time. That's correct. So just minutes ago, that's short time. So both of you are correct. Okay. And so George, you said TOEIC test might be easier than IELTS and TOEFL. Just keep practicing and sharing up. Yes, thank you for such a positive message. Remember, practice makes perfect and you have to think positive. So share up. Thank you, George. Okay, keep practicing. And Kun Yok, you said my English grammar is so poor. That's okay. Grammar comes with other things as well. So when you practice, don't just practice grammar, practice listening, practice reading, practice learning vocabulary as well, okay? And then your English will slowly get better. Okay, so let's go back to our sentence a bit. So we talked about it just minutes ago. So we just discussed not a long time ago. And then we have dash here is called a dash. A dash is a punctuation mark. Like full stop is a punctuation mark. A comma is also a punctuation mark. We use a dash to provide an extra piece of information. In this case, the things inside these brackets here are extra information. The main sentence is, we talked about it just minutes ago, but you want to give more information to the listener or the reader that minutes ago was when? Well, it was during the workshop, something afternoon. So during is like at that time, and a workshop is like a meeting or a seminar, but the difference is in a workshop you get to practice, do practical things, use your hands to maybe do something, not just listen, not just write things down. You get to do something, like learning by doing. That happens often in a workshop. And afternoon, obviously, that's after the middle of the day and before the evening. Okay, so what's the best answer? We are talking about just one afternoon, so we don't say D, we don't say C. And should it be that afternoon or this afternoon? Okay, let's just go back. I'm scrolling up to see the comments. So we have lots of A's, lots of B's, right? So most of you are coming the right way. So the answer here, the best answer is actually A. This, okay? So we say this afternoon. And why do we say this afternoon? Okay, so the afternoon is just one afternoon, so that's why we don't use these. We can't say see this afternoon, right? All right, so we say this afternoon because the afternoon is still, yes, it's a bit in the past, but it is still quite new, because we have just talked about it just minutes ago, not a long time. So we can say that this sentence wants to explain to us that the thing that we talked about happened a very short time ago, and it happened during a workshop this afternoon, the afternoon of today. If we say that afternoon, if we say B, it's like maybe yesterday, yesterday afternoon, or maybe afternoon last week or something. But if we're talking about the afternoon of this day, we have to use this. Okay, so anything that is the present or close to the present, try reading the whole sentence, try to understand the context, and you see that as long as it is the present or relating to the present, well, we use this. But if it's talking about something further back in the past, yesterday or something, we use that. All right, so this is the last sentence for today. Okay, so thank you everyone so much for joining in and for contributing, for helping me explain. Okay, so I have one more comment from Satapon. So you said, we do not talk about yesterday or day's part. So I think you mean like you're trying to say that with this, we don't use it with yesterday, right? Or many days in the past, right? I think that's what you meant, which is correct. Great. So again, thank you everyone for joining me. And if you have enjoyed it, if you have learned something, then I'm really happy. And please give me some likes, some thumbs up, some love, the hearts or whatever, okay? And don't forget to subscribe and press the bell notification if you're watching on YouTube. But if you're watching on Facebook and you enjoyed it, well, please press like at my page and also press see first. So you will always see my latest posts, latest videos, all right? Okay, so thank you. I hope you have learned more about these 4 words. So this, that, these, and those. Okay. When you're talking, don't worry so much. It is okay to, get some of the things mixed up because that's the characteristic of talking, we can't get everything perfect, okay? Because talking is instant. It is spontaneous, okay? So, yeah. But in writing, we should try to get everything correct because we have time to look at our writing and to review and to correct things, okay? So this here, I want to say that it is more important in writing, but in speaking, in your speech, it's less important, okay? So don't worry if you got some wrong, it's okay. I want you to be able to speak more than just to worry so much about, choosing this, that, this, or those, all right? Okay, so that about sums up today's video. If you want me to teach any particular topic, please do let me know. You can send me a message or you can type in the comments area. Okay, we have one more viewer. Good evening, sir, from Poramin. Okay, thank you for joining. We have just talked about using this, that, these, and those. Okay, and we have done some exercises together. But thank you for joining anyway. Please join in my next live video. I'll be going live regularly, so please don't forget to join. And if you want me to teach any topic, please tell me, okay? And I'll try my best to teach you that topic and help solve your problems. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you to everyone. Thank you so much for joining. Okay, what's this? I do understand all of you say, but I can't say, don't know why. Okay, so Satapon, you're saying that you can understand my speech, right? But maybe you have some problems when you try to speak in English. Is that correct? I do understand all of you, but I can't. Okay, that's okay. You know, if you're learning English, or any language, you know, we start with the passive skills first. So we normally start with listening, we normally start with reading, and once you hear lots of words, then you'll be able to start speaking and writing. So remember to immerse yourself in English, read every day, okay? Listen to English every day, and then we can slowly work on speaking and also writing later on. Okay, so Kun Pathanachat also said that. Okay, we should take it step by step, okay? Listen to English, read in English every day, and we can start step by step with the speaking and writing later on, okay? Maybe in the next video, I'll focus more on some speaking tips. How about that? All right? Any more questions? I'm open to all questions. Thank you very much. Thank you as well, Kun Vanicha. Okay, great. So does anyone have any further questions? I'll try my best to answer you. Okay, great. So maybe that's it for today. Thank you again to everyone for joining, and I hope to see all of you next time. Okay, don't forget to like my page or subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of these great live English videos which will help improve your English. Okay, all right, so that's it for today. It's time to say goodbye, and yes, thank you Par as well. So thank you everyone for joining and contributing in the quiz, and see you next time. Okay, please take care. Bye bye.
Just